As time allows, a medley. I'll get by, and don't blame me.
We interrupt this current program to bring you a special news bulletin.
Good evening. This is Johnny Ecology coming to you live. Due to an unusually warm winter, mass sightings of mosquitoes and ticks have been reported in your area by local officials. National leaders are baffled by the sudden increase in disease-carrying vectors on a global scale. These vectors are known to be armed and dangerous. Police are saying to stay inside, lock your doors, and keep those windows closed. The public is growing increasingly worried. Scientists are currently sampling ponds, rivers, and fields for any clues about these organisms and why this is happening. According to local investigators, the cause of these events are currently unknown.
The spread of infectious diseases has always been a topic of concern to humankind. Infectious diseases can be spread through different means such as airborne, direct contact, indirect contact, and exchange of bodily fluids. One specific form of transmission is through vectors. A vector is a living organism which transmits a pathogen into another living organism. Vectors themselves are not infected by these pathogens. They simply act as a method of transportation. Common vectors which infect humans are of the phylum Arthropoda, such as ticks, mosquitoes, and fleas. Some examples of these diseases that infect humans are malaria and Lyme disease. So why does this matter?
10 days ago, residents of West Canton, California began flooding local hospitals, showing what appeared to be flu-like symptoms.
Right now, that aeroplane you can see flying behind me is spraying an insecticide over West Canton.
Volunteers hand out insecticide-treated bed nets, the best line of defense against malaria.
But despite constant spraying and insecticide treatment, these mosquitoes don't seem to be going away.
According to the World Health Organization, 50% of the world's population is at risk from malaria. About 655,000 people each year die from this disease alone. The malaria parasite, which is carried by mosquitoes, is native to tropical zones with high humidity. This tropical environment provides not only an optimal habitat for mosquito growth and reproduction, but also allows malaria parasites to mature at an efficient rate. Temperature of 72 degrees Fahrenheit, the malaria parasite will mature inside a mosquito vector in about 19 days. In comparison, at a temperature of 86 degrees Fahrenheit, these same parasites will mature in just 8 days. With an increase in temperature comes a direct increase in infected mosquitoes. Ticks are another type of vector, which are known to be successful carriers of Lyme disease, a bacterial infection that leads to fatigue, depression, fever, and in some cases, complications with the circulatory and central nervous system. These insects thrive in a temperate, humid climate, just like that found in New England. Colder New England winters are necessary to provide the balance that keeps the tick population in check. With weaker winters, like that seen in 2011, tick populations will continue to increase, along with the incidence of Lyme disease in human populations. The problem comes down to the ecological interactions between climate and disease-carrying vectors. These organisms are adapted to specific ecosystems, which are currently expanding due to rising global temperatures. These habitats are becoming more capable of supporting vector-borne pathogens than before. With milder winters and scorching summers across the globe, we are seeing a dramatic increase in vector populations, which directly correlates to increased human exposure to these diseases. Understanding the interactions of the vectors and their environment is necessary for preventing the spread of infectious disease. Ecology, alongside policy change, will help slow down the growth of Lyme disease and malaria.